Cultural influences on teaching and learning refer to the ways in which students' cultural backgrounds, such as language, traditions, communication styles, family structures, and values, affect how they interpret information, interact in the classroom, and approach learning. For example, in some cultures, students may be taught to listen quietly and avoid direct eye contact with authority figures, which might be misinterpreted as disengagement in a typical American classroom. Understanding these cultural differences is essential to avoid misjudging behavior or academic ability. Cultural competence is the ability of educators to understand, respect, and effectively respond to students' diverse cultural backgrounds. In the instruction of English learners, cultural competence plays a critical role because it enables teachers to create an inclusive environment where students feel seen, respected, and supported. It helps teachers adapt their instruction to be more accessible and relevant, which can greatly enhance engagement and academic success. To appropriately integrate English language learners' cultural values and beliefs into teaching, educators can use strategies such as incorporating multicultural literature, showing videos, inviting students to share stories or experiences from their culture, recognizing and celebrating cultural holidays, and connecting lesson content to students' real life contexts. Teachers can also involve families and communities in the learning process and allow for multiple ways of demonstrating understanding that honor different learning styles. By valuing and incorporating students' cultural identities, educators not only foster a positive classroom climate, but also support deeper learning and language development. The role of culture in student learning is foundational. Culture shapes how students think, communicate, learn, interact with others. It influences their values, their expectations, learning styles, and even how they interpret authority and collaboration. When students' cultural backgrounds are acknowledged and respected in the classroom, they're more likely to feel comfortable, motivated, and engaged, which enhances both learning and language development. For English learners, cultural relevance can bridge the gap between their home and school experience, helping them connect new knowledge to what they already know. School and classroom environments significantly influence language acquisition. A welcoming, supportive, and culturally responsive environment encourages English language learners to take risks in speaking and engaging with academic content in English. Environments that promote peer interaction and cooperative learning and them working together and structured opportunities for speaking and listening accelerate language development. Environments that ignore or devalue a student's culture or language can create barriers to participation and learning. So, to create an inclusive environment for language acquisition, we can take the following steps. We can foster a culturally responsive classroom by incorporating their languages, their traditions, their perspectives into the curriculum. We can build positive relationships with students and their families to understand their backgrounds and create that trust. We can provide visual supports and scaffolds, word walls, sentence frames, graphic organizers, anchor charts to aid in that comprehension. We can encourage peer collaboration through structured discussions or group work that supports language practice. We can differentiate instruction and assessments to meet our students' needs at their language proficiency level. And we can celebrate linguistic diversity by including the home languages and validating them and providing opportunities for students to use them meaningfully. Supporting and celebrating cultural diversity within instruction involves creating a classroom environment that values and reflects the rich backgrounds that all of these students come from. Some effective strategies include incorporating multicultural content into lessons such as literature and history and examples from diverse cultures to broaden students' understanding and appreciation of different perspectives and different cultures. Teachers can also celebrate cultural holidays and traditions through the classroom. Activities like cultural fairs, storytelling, music, food, which all give students opportunities to share their heritage and build pride in their identity. Using collaborative learning structures encourages students to work together and learn from each other's experiences. which fosters respect and empathy. And to leverage home language and cultural assets, educators can invite families to share their language and traditions through events, guest presentations, or by contributing materials related to their culture. Incorporating students' home languages in the classroom, for example, through bilingual labels, word walls, or allowing students to discuss ideas in their native language before sharing it in English. It validates their linguistic skills and it aids in their comprehension, and providing opportunities for students to translate, to teach peers, build confidence, affirm the value of their language. Finally, recognizing cultural communication styles and learning preferences enables teachers to differentiate instruction in ways that honor students' cultural strengths, making learning more accessible and meaningful. To respond effectively to the diverse strengths, needs, and identities of all English language learners, including those with special needs, teachers can use differentiated instruction tailored to each student's language proficiency, learning style, and abilities. This might include modifying tasks, visual aids, hands-on activities, and just offering multiple ways for students to demonstrate their understanding. Collaborating with special education professionals ensures that English language learners with disabilities receive appropriate accommodations, such as extended time or assistive technology, while still addressing language development goals. Creating a classroom culture that values each student's unique identity helps them feel seen and respected, which is essential for their engagement and success. To meet the social and emotional needs of English language learners, we can build trusting relationships by showing empathy, actively listening, and validating students' experiences. Providing a safe and predictable classroom environment reduces anxiety, which is particularly important for students adjusting to a new language and culture. Social emotional learning programs that teach skills like self-awareness, resilience, and relationship building all support English language learners' overall well-being. And opportunities for peer interaction, such as cooperative learning and the buddy system, foster social connections and language practice. Additionally, involving families and community resources helps create a support network that strengthens students' sense of belonging and identity, both inside and outside of school. Understanding the social, emotional, and cultural needs of students is crucial when establishing classroom routines and procedures, because these needs directly impact students' ability to feel safe, respected, and motivated to learn. When routines are designed with awareness of students' backgrounds and emotional experiences, they help create a predictable and supportive environment where all students, especially English learners, can thrive. And addressing these social and emotional needs also means routines can include moments for community building, conflict resolution, and stress management, which help students regulate their emotions and build those positive relationships. Family and community practices, often referred to as funds of knowledge, play a powerful role in influencing language learning because they represent the rich everyday skills, experiences, and cultural knowledge that students bring with them to the classroom. When teachers recognize and integrate these real-life experiences into instruction, such as using examples from students' home lives, encouraging storytelling about family traditions, or incorporating community-based projects, they make language learning more relevant and engaging. This approach validates students' identities, builds on their strengths, and fosters motivation. Building and fostering strong family, community, and school partnership is essential in supporting English language learners and all of our students, and creating a welcoming, inclusive educational environment. Some effective strategies include maintaining regular two-way communication with families through multiple channels. And schools can also host family nights, workshops, cultural events that celebrate diversity and provide opportunities for families to learn about the curriculum that their students are learning. Effective family engagement practices that support home language include providing translated materials and interpreters for parent-teacher conferences, having parent education programs focused on navigating the school system, literacy development. Inclusive community engagement practices involve partnering with local organizations, cultural centers, and community leaders to provide resources and support for English learner families. Schools can create community resource fairs that connect families to health, legal, and social services, and collaborating with community members to co design programs or events ensures that they are culturally relevant and responsive. By valuing and integrating the strengths of families and communities, schools build trust, increase involvement, and create a truly inclusive learning environment.